Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again to our channel, Mind Mastery Tutor. Mind Mastery Tutor. And again, this is my number. By the way, I want one of the people said I should start the online grade 10 classes. I don't know why I'm hesitating, but I think I should start grade 10 classes. Yeah, so in case I want to start, say it on the comment section, because sometimes naweza start lakini ona mwanafunzi mmoja tu wawili, but I don't get discouraged. But I want you to say it, guys. If you want this, we'll do maybe a free trial class for 1 week free. Tuje tu pamoja ni wafunze for 1 week, that is. So in case you want it, just say yes, I want those classes. Come on. So yeah, without further ado, let's start the session. Maths, I don't know which school is that, but in case you guys are from different schools, just send me through, because naona I'm struggling in finding these papers. Just send me through this number 0797550885. If you have such papers, then please send me these papers. Now let's start with section A. Answer all the questions, circle the letter of the correct answer. Which of the following numbers is a rational number? A rational number ni number ambayo yani is somehow rational, and it has a repeated, it either has a repeated sequence of numbers. Kwa mfano 2.7777, wajua the next number is also 7, or is it has a whole number, okay, or non-repeating number, like for example 2.5, I repeat, iko hapa tu, so that is a rational number. But if you look at the first choice, root 7 2.645, angalia sasa, hiyo tayari yaonesha uzembe. 2.645 kuna namba nyingi, 7 5 1 3 1 na yaendelea, so that is not rational. Root 16 is 4. Okay, not all roots are irrational numbers. There are some roots that usually are rational numbers. Pi again is a very rational number kwa sababu ziko nyingi, 3.142 nini, kuna a lot of decimals. Now if you look at this is also an irrational number because it's still continuing, na huwezi jua ata predict the next number. Ukiona 10 100 1000 ni ngumu. So the only answer is root 16, kwa sababu root 16 is obviously 4. Okay, question 2. Find the reciprocal of 1/3/5. 1/3/5, mwanzo andika in mix in improper number. 1/3/5 inaandikwa vipi? 5 times 1 plus 3. So 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3/5, which will give you 8/5. So the reciprocal of 8/5, just hii number iende hapa, hii nyingine iende hapa, is 5/8. As simple as that. So answer yako ni 5/8. Question 3. Simplify a power 7 times a power negative 3 divided by a power 2. So tumesema indices a power m times a power n. You add the powers, m plus n. Okay, a power m divided by a power n, you subtract the powers, m minus n. So hapa ziko zote mbili, kuna multiplication na kuna division. Let's start with we should start with division, right? Kwa sababu ya BODMAS, a very tricky question. So BODMAS, kumbuka tuanza na division. Kabla hujaingia multiplication, tunaanza na division. Ingekuwa hii watu wengi wangefeli. A power 7 times a power negative 3 divided by a squared. So we start with division first. So tofauti tuanze na division, which is a minus 3 divided by a power 2, which is supposed to be minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so minus 3 minus 2 itakupa minus 5. So tushamalizana na division, then we go to multiplication. A power 7 times a power negative 5 itakuwa a, we add if it comes to multiplication 7 plus -5, which is 7 minus 5, which will give you a power 2. So on. Very simple but somehow tricky ikiwa hauko makini, but I think even if you do the normal way, 7 minus 3 ni 4, 4 minus 2 bado itakupa the same correct answer. So question 4, which is this one, umeambiwa evaluate 2 power 3 raised to power 2 divided by 2 power 4, leaving your answer in index form base 2. Now we said ikiwa kuna 2 powers, you multiply those 2 powers, so chukua m times n. So in this case ukiona hiyo 2 power 3 kuna power nyingine hapo which is power 2, and then you divide by 2 power 4, so utachukua 3 times 2 because they have 2 powers, then don't forget to divide it by 2 power 4 afterwards. 3 times 2 ni 2 power 6 divided by 2 power 4, and we've said we subtract the 2 powers when it comes to division, so 6 minus 4, which will give you 2, and that is your answer. Now question 5, simplify 5 power -2, which will give you 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 25. Question 6, log 32 base 2. So it's going to give you log 32 is usually written as 2 power how much? 2 power ngapi? 32. Waweza ukadivide hapa, ukadivide na 2, 16 divide by 2 yakupa 8, divide by 2 tena yakupa 4, divide by 2, 2 divide by 2, 1. So hii ni 2 power 5. So 32 waweza ukaandika kama 2 power 5, so utaandika log base 2 2 power 5. Na ikiwa uko na power ndani ya log, what we said is, because we have log let's say log base 10 m power n, hiyo power itaenda nyuma ya hiyo log, itakuwa n log m base 10. Si lazima base 10, inaweza kuwa base yote, base b. So ile power in short itaenda nyuma ya log, na in our case hiyo 5 itaenda nyuma ya hiyo log, itakuwa 5 log 2 base 2. Now we said also another application of logarithm, another rule of logarithm is that if the base and the number are same, then is equivalent to 1. So log a base a is just equivalent to 1. So in this case, log 2 base 2 is equivalent to 1 as well. So hii kuandika log 2 base 2, just remove, utaandika 5 times 1, which is just 5. So basically this is just 5. By the way, hata waweza kujiuliza 2 power ngapi ya kupata 32, so it's also 5. Ona rahisi. Question 7, given that log 2 is equal to 0.3010 and log 3 is equal to 0.4771, evaluate log 6. So evaluate log 6. Log 6 tutaiandika kama log into bracket 2 times 3. Na one of the rules ya logarithm, ikiwa haujasoma nenda katika video zangu uzione. One of the rules of logarithm, if it comes to multiplication, then it basically means that it came from addition. So itakuwa 2 times 3 itakuwa log a plus log b, which is equal to log a times b ama ab. So in this case, kuliko kuandika log into bracket 2 times 3, utaandika log 2 plus log 3, in which log 2 obviously mwaiona kwenye screen. Log 2 is basically 0.3010, which is this, and log 3 ni hii hapa, so you add to 0.4771, which is equivalent to 0.3010 plus 0.4771 yafaa ikupe 0.7781. So that is the answer. Question 8, expand and simplify x minus 4 times x plus 7 let's multiply this. X times x ni x squared, x times 7 ni 7x, minus 4 times x minus 4x, minus 4 times 7 is minus 28, and therefore we're going to get x squared, 7x minus 4x plus 3x minus 28. So that is the answer. So ku expand ni rahisi sana. So factorize and simplify x squared minus 2x minus 15. Sawa. So ukifactorize obviously wajua kuna kitu inaitwa sum, kuna kitu inaitwa product. So sum yetu ni normally this negative 2 ambayo iko hapa. So that is our sum. Now our product is normally the first number which is here, and which ile number yetu hapa most of the time ni 1. So just assume there's 1 here. So ni 1 times negative 15, which will give you negative 15. So our product is basically negative 15. So number gani uki-add ya kupa negative 2, uki-multiply ya kupa negative 15? Which two numbers if you add gives you negative 2, if you multiply those two numbers gives you negative 15? You can think of many combinations. Chukua hiyo product mwanzo negative 15, waweza chukua negative 15 ukamultiply kwa 1. Lakini je, ukizi add ya kupa negative 2? No. Waweza chukua negative 5 ukamultiply kwa 3. Ukizi add je ya kupa negative 2? Yes. So let's add this. So the answer is the two numbers are negative 5 and 3. So kidogo, let me recharge my laptop. Okay, so those two numbers we've said is negative 5 and 3. Sasa kwa vile ni negative 5 and 3, simplifying, factorizing hii ni rahisi. If the coefficient for x squared ni 1, uweza factorize hivi tu. That's the simpler way. Utaandika x minus 5 na x plus 3. Haina haja ufikirie mambo mingi. Once ushajua factor zako ni negative 5 and 3, negative 5 times 3 yakupa negative 15, and if you take negative 5 plus 3 yakupa negative 2. Weka tu x, then you write minus 5 and plus 3. Simple. Ikiwa ni coefficient yako ni for x squared is 1. But so let's go to this question 10. Hapa. So x squared minus 9x plus 20 is equal to 0. So hii sum yako ni negative 9, product yako ni 20. So which are those two numbers? Sum yako ni negative 9, product ni 20. So which are those two numbers? So ukiangalia 20 ni 1 and 20. 1 times 20 ni 20. Ukiada hizi kupa negative 9. Kuna 5 and 4. Sio, 5 times 4 ni 20. Lakini ukiada ya kupa positive 4. Lakini nikichukua negative 5 and negative 4 itakupa negative 9. So unaona? So those two numbers are negative 5 and negative 4, and therefore just write x minus 5 and x minus 4. Simplest method. So, but now remember hii ni equal to 0. Wewe dhani ni factorization, lakini ni equal to 0. So lazima weke equal sign. So x minus 5 is equal to 0. So yamaanisha x is equal to plus 5. X minus 4 is equal to 0, and therefore x is equal to positive 4. So those are the two numbers, and those are the two answers, which is this one. So now question 11, determine the nature of the roots of 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. Okay, 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equal to 0. Now for you to determine the nature of the roots, okay, there's a simpler way. Una hii formula. Kama unataka ku determine the nature of the roots of that equation, watumia kitu inaitwa discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. Now hii b squared minus 4ac, if it is greater than 0, you will have two distinct roots. Two distinct, yani two different roots. So if it is equal to 0, then you'll have two equal roots, yani hizo roots zafanana. Kama ni x equal to 3, hiyo pia utapata x equal to 3 kwa ile roots nyingine. And then if you have b squared minus 4ac less than 0, yamaanisha there is no real roots, yani x yako haiko kabisa, yani it's impossible, it's undefined. So then how do you solve such a question? See, so this is the question, just in case you might think we're in another page. So let me check. Let's check now. Let's check here. So question 11, that is question 11. So ikiwa uko na 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. So let's find out our b. Our a is 2, ya kwanza hii, b ni hii hapa, sawa, and c is equal to 5. Now let's say if b is b squared minus 4ac greater than 0 or less than 0 or equal to 0. So utatumia b squared minus 4ac. So utachukua 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times c times 5. So itakupa 9 minus 4 times 2 times 5 ni minus 4 times 2 8, 8 times 5 ni negative 40. So 9 minus 40 yakupa a negative answer. So ukichukua 4 times 2 times 5 tunasema 40, 9 minus 40 yakupa minus 31. So this one is less than 0. So b squared minus 4ac hapa ni less than 0. Now if it is less than 0, tumesema there is no real root. No real roots. Hakuna root yoyote. Upati x equal to something, you won't get that. So again, no real roots. You can get 3 real roots unless it's cubic function. Question 12. Question 12 ni hii. Which condition guarantees that two triangles are similar? So two triangles are similar. Question choice A, corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Question choice B, all sides are equal in length. Okay, that doesn't guarantee. Okay, one pair of corresponding sides is equal. Okay, one pair of corresponding sides equal. Choice B, the two triangles have equal areas. Now the answer is basically A, because the corresponding angles are equal. This shows that it uses the property of A, that is angle are equal. So if you get such a rule there, then obviously they will be similar. But this one, all sides are equal in length, it doesn't prove that much. Haina ile proof sana. One pair of corresponding sides is equal. It shows congruency, but it doesn't show similarity. Sometimes the two triangles have equal areas. They can have different shapes and give you equal areas, obviously. So question 13. Question 13, two similar water tanks have corresponding heights of 3 meters and 12 meters. Find the linear scale factor of enlargement from the smaller to the larger tank. EPA, I'll create a video. I think I've created one. So it's just time to upload and create those things, thumbnails and etc. So two similar water tanks have corresponding heights, 3 meter and 12 meters. So kuna yani hii na kuna hii hapa. So kuna moja in 3 meter and nyingine in 12 meter. So normally you take this one, divide by this one to give you the linear scale factor. So just take 12, divide by 3, answer ni pa 4 exactly. But now, I haven't read the question fully. Umeambia find the linear scale factor of enlargement from the smaller to the larger tank. So the smaller is, so basically wataka hii smaller divide by larger, which is 3 over 12, which will give you 1 over 4. Very tricky question. So the answer is C. Kama ni hajauliza area scale factor and etc. Now, two similar flower beds have a linear scale factor of 3. Find the ratio of their areas. So question 14. Now we know that if you take linear scale factor square, you get area scale factor. So and since umepata scale factor ya 3 ni 3/1 ya kubwa over ya ndogo, so when you square it, it's supposed to give you 3 times 3, which is 9. 1 times 1 is 1, so 9:1 is your answer. 27:1 is volume scale factor. So area scale factor is also ratio of areas. Okay, now that is question 14. Question 15. Two similar water drums have a linear scale factor of 2. So you got a linear scale factor of 2. Find the ratio of their volumes. Again, linear scale factor cubed is equal to volume scale factor, and therefore you'll take 2 cubed, which will give you 8. 2 times 2 times 2, 8/1. And again, larger to smaller is still the same. This answer here that we have. Okay, question 16. Triangle PQR is enlarged with center 0, 0 and scale factor 3 to form image P prime, Q prime, R prime. Given P is 2, 1, find the coordinates of P prime. Now, when you're enlarging something, let's say your point is x, y, under a scale factor of k. So your image is going to be k times x coordinate and k times y coordinate. So for this question, P yako ni 2, 1, and it's enlarged because as long as your center is 0, 0. If your center is not that, it's somehow very complicated to work out. So if your scale factor now is 3, so your P prime is going to be 2 times 3 and 1 times 3. So which will be P prime to be 6, 3. So this is your answer. Question 17. Okay, question 17. A model car is 15 centimeter long and represents an actual car which is 4.5 meter long. 15 centimeter na nyingine ni 4.5. Kuwa makini, kuna centimeter na kuna meter. Find the linear scale factor of enlargement from the model to the actual. So the model ni 15. The actual ni 4.5. Lakini kwa vile hii ni meters, wacha tubadilishe tu kwa centimeter. And we know that for every meter is 100 centimeter. So you need to multiply by 100 to give us now 450 centimeter. So linear scale factor of enlargement from the model to the actual. So the model being 15 divided by the actual. So hii ni centimeter, ndo maana zakansirika. Ingekuwa ni chini ni meter, singekansirika. So 15 divided by 450 by 15, 1 by 15, 30. You get 1/30. That is the answer. Question 18. Find the image of point A 3, 5 and the reflection in the y, and the reflection okay, in the line y is equal to x. Okay, then what do you think the A prime will be? Now we know that this rule, if we reflect anything x, y, now we reflect under this reflection y equal to x, what will be its image? Image yake itakuwa reciprocator, yani utareciprocate hivi, yani pale ambapo kuna y itaenda kwa x coordinate na ile x itaenda kwa y coordinate. So ukiona hii 3 itaenda kwa y coordinate, itakuwa hapa, na hii 5 itaenda kwa x coordinate, itakuwa hapa, and therefore our A prime is just 5,3. So unaona simple rules, lazima ujue hizo rules. By the way, kuna y equal to negative x, so and I want you to comment there, ikiwa ni y equal to negative x itakuwa vipi? Kama ni x, y ukiweka under this reflection itakuwaje, right? So think of that. Now question 19 is much similar as well. Now question 19, you've been told to find the image of P which is negative 2, 4 na ita undergo reflection in the x-axis. Okay, now let's say nawachorea haswa so that you can see it. So let's say your A which is here 1, 2, hii ndo A yako, which is 1,2. Ukireflect under x axis ni hapa. Sawa, x axis ni hii hapa. So itapatikana nyuma ya hiyo x axis. So a yako itakuwa hapa. So what happens is a prime yako, x yako haitobadilika, lakini y yako from 2 itakuwa negative. So itakuwa 1,-2. So what happened here? The x remains the same, but the y changes its sign. So ile y coordinate itakuwa negative, kama ni negative itakuwa positive. So kama kwa mfano your object is x, y, so your object ukireflect under x axis itakuwa image itakuwa x, lakini y yako itakuwa ni negative y. So under reflection in the x axis, so kama ni negative 2,4 itaendelea to b prime to be negative 2, but lile 4 itakuwa negative 4. Therefore that is our answer. Mbona answer zote ni AA? Oh. Okay. Question 20. Which condition proves that two triangles are congruent when three sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding three sides of the other? So in case when you on hii side, let's say 7, 7, 7, ile pia ziko similar. So corresponding to yani 7, 7, 7. So sometimes waweza pata hivi. Okay, waweza pata hivi, so 7, 24, 25, yani triangle ikaketi kama hivi, lakini bado ni vile vile tu. So hapa ni 7, 24, 25, so sides ziko sawa. So those are, that's condition usually SSS, so where all sides are equal. So hakuna angle hapa. Hii SAS yamaanisha side and side are equal, then angle and angle are equal, side and side are equal. ASA ni angle, two pairs of angles are equal, one pair of side is equal. RHS sana sana ni right angle triangle. So which kuna hypotenuse, kuna right angle na kuna ile side. Sawa. Question 20 ndo imeisha, ndo wacha tuingie section B, 80 marks. Okay, section B hiyo. Answer all questions in this section and the spaces provided. Classify each of the following numbers as rational or irrational, give a reason in each case. So ukiangalia root 50, wewe tumia tu calculator yako, ina haja ujistress. So root 50 is irrational because ukiweka it gives you 7.0710, hiyo nyingi. So it gives you something like this. So just at the end of the day is usually irrational. 22/7. Is it irrational or rational? 22/7 is just pi. So pi is always irrational. Ukifanya nini? So yeah. 3.101001001. Need. Okay. Now this is not irrational. This is rational because it's a fraction. Okay, where b is not equal to 0 as long as it's a fraction. So this is rational. This one is irrational because it's not repeating na wajazajiregelea sana. Sawa. Now question B, find the reciprocal of 2 3/8. Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So you have 2 3/8. So 8 times 2 plus 3. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 3 divided by 8. That gives you 19/8. So reciprocal yake ni 8/19. So this is the simplest answer. This is no. 8 goes into 19 two times. So 8/19. No. 8/19. 8 divided by 19. I think that is the simplest one. So where's the simplify? 8 times 2 is 16, not 9. So that is the answer. 8/19. Question C. Arrange the following numbers in ascending order. You have -3, √5 yaandikwa vipi? Wacha tuione. √5 is written as 2.24. Wacha tuandike to 2.24. And negative √16, negative √16, √16 ni 4, negative 4. So starting with the smallest, ascending order ni smallest to largest. Okay. starting with the smallest one. The smallest one is negative, this one, negative 4 ndo ndogo, negative root 16, comma, then followed by negative 3, then followed by 1.8, then lastly is root 5. So that is the answer. Question 22a. Without using a calculator, evaluate 2 power 5 times 2 power negative 2 into bracket divide by 2 power negative 4. So hapa tuanza na brackets na nishaeleza a power m times a power n, you add, and kama ikija kwa division you subtract. So hapa ukiona brackets tutaanza na hiyo multiplication, so we add 5 plus minus 2, okay, and then divide by 2 power negative 4. So 5 plus minus 2 itakupa 3, so hii ni 2 power 3. Then division means subtraction, so utachukua 3 minus negative 4, which will give you 2 plus 7, kwa sababu 3 minus negative 4 ni 3 plus 4, which is 7 at the end of the day. Question B, solve for x, which is 3 power 2x minus 1 is equal to 81. So jiulize 3 power ngapi yakupa 81, kwa sababu utajua 81 ni divide by 3, obviously itakuwa 27, then divide by 3 again, 9 and 3, then divide by 3 ni 3 and 3, so ni 3 power 4. So make sure the bases are the same. Now once the bases are the same, you then equate the powers, which is much easier now. So wewe wafaa equate the powers, wafaa uchukue 2x minus 1 is equal to 4, minus 1 peleka the other side, itakuwa ni 4 plus 1, which is equal to 2x. 4 plus 1 ni 5, divide by 2, divide by 2, x is therefore equal to 5 over 2. So this is your answer basically. Bado tutaendelea na hii swali. Log 2 is equal to, given that log 2 is equal to 0.3010, without using tables or calculator, evaluate log 8. Log 8 waweza ukaandika kama log into bracket 4 times 2. So hopefully that is understandable. Basi baada hapo, okay, and we know that 4 pia yaweza kaandikwa 2 squared times 2, and tunajua katika log rules that if you get log log times, yani ikiwa ni a times b, is just, it comes from a plus b, log a plus log b, and therefore hii utaiandika kama log 2 squared plus log 2. Lakini pia tujue kuwa if you have a power in that log, the power comes behind the log. The power comes behind the log, which is m log a. So 2 squared gives you 2 log 2 plus log 2. Okay, now we already know that log 2 ni 0.301. So kuliko kuandika 2 log 2, wacha tuiandike 2 hapa ndo nionyesha. So 0 tachukua 2 times 0.3010 plus 0.3010. 0.3010 ukiadd kwa 0.301 times 2, yani itakupa ngapi? Itakupa 0.6020. So hii 2 times hiyo itakupa 0.6020 plus 0.3010. Now if I add the 2, acha nifute hapa ndo niwaoneshe kabisa. So if I add 0.6020 to 0.3010, you'll get 0.9030. But you need to add starting from here, so you kaona. So 0 plus 0 0, 2 plus 1 is 3, 0, 9, 0.9030. So that is our answer. Right. Wana ni rahisi sana. solve for x log base 5 x plus 3 is equal to 2. Now kuna rule ya log tena, kwa maana wafa ujue hizi logs rules nini. So log a base a is equal to 1. Okay, so ikiwa ni 2, so yafaa iwe 2 log a base a is equal to 2. Okay, zikiwa sawa. So hapa ni 5, so log base 5 x plus 3 is equal to 2. Rather than writing 2, taandika 2 log 5 base 5. Sawa, siona rahisi. So tumesema hii hapa ikiwa ni kitu kama a log b, hiyo a itakuwa power, itakuwa b power a na base yako ni m. So basically this is just the same thing. So hii 2 itakuja hapa, itakuwa log 5 base 5 squared na log base 5 x plus 3. So 5 squared itakuwa 225. So x plus 3 is equal to 25. 3 peleka the other side itakuwa minus 3, and therefore x is equal to 22. Ona solve for x, tayari usha solve for x. Haya, wacha to expand and simplify. So 2x minus 3 times x plus 5. 2x times x, 2x squared. 2x times 5 ni 10x, minus 3 times x minus 3x, minus 3 times 5 ni minus 15. Collect like terms, hii na hii. So itakuwa 2x squared, 10 minus 3 ni 7x minus 15. That is our answer. Or you can use this formula, ukaandika 2x minus 3, then ukaandika x na 5, ukatumia box rule. So 2x times x, 2x squared, x times negative 3, negative 3x, 2x times 5 ni 10x, and 5 times negative 3 ni negative 15. Ukazileta pamoja tu kama vile tulivyokuwa tufanya. 2x squared minus 3x, hii minus 3x plus 10x itakupa 7x minus 15. Then what about question B, factorize completely? Okay, we have 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. Sum na product. Sum yako ni 11. Product ni 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. So which are the two numbers? Right. So the two numbers ni gani? Ukiangalia negative 12. Negative 12 iko na combination nyingi. Ya kwanza ni 1 na negative 12. Kuna 2 na negative 6. Kuna negative 2 na 6 pia. Kuna 3 na negative 4. Kuna negative 3 na 4 pia. I think those are enough. But which one gives you negative not negative 12 but 11, yani ukizi add yakupa 11. And I think it's kuna nyingine pia tusema negative 1 na 12, and I think it's negative 1 and 12, kwa sababu ukichukua negative 1 plus 12 yakupa 11. So at the end of the day utaandika hivi 3x squared, because you got the factors to be negative 1 and 12. 3x squared, 11x sasa umeigawanya into negative 1x plus 12x minus 4. Sawa, minus 1x si lazima uandike minus 1x, uandike 2 minus x ama ukitaka hivi, but the common factor to this and this is x. So itakuwa x into bracket 3x minus 1. The common factor to this and this is 4. So itakupa 3x minus 1 into bracket, so utaandika x plus 4 into bracket 3x minus 1. As simple as that. Question C, find the roots of x squared plus 6x minus 7 is equal to 0. So we use sum and product. So the same thing, sum yako ni 6. Product yako ni 1 times -7, which is -7. So which are the two numbers? If you multiply -7, if you add, it gives you 6, and those numbers are 7 and -1. Now if you factorize this one, is somehow very easy than doing the question above. So once you know the factors, because the coefficient for x squared here is 1, you can factorize it directly using those factors. Ukaandika x plus 7 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now you equate x plus 7 to 0, 7 itaenda the other side, and therefore x is equal to -7. Or you can have another x value, which is x minus 1, to be equal to 0, minus 1 ikaenda the other side, and therefore x can also be 1. So you have two answers for x, -7 or 1. Okay, a rectangular school garden has a length that is 4 meters more than its width. The area of the garden is 96 square meters. Taking the width of the garden to be x meter, form a quadratic equation in terms of x. So we have this. Okay, we have a length that is 4 meters than its width. So we have x plus 4, and we have x meters. So which is this? So the area of the garden is 96 square meters. So the area is 96 square meters. So taking the width of the garden to be x meters, form a quadratic equation in terms of x. So which is very easy. So just take x plus 4 times x to be equal to 96. Why did I write such an x? So we have x times x plus 4 to be equal to 96. So x times x obviously is going to give you x squared. X times 4 is 4x, which is equal to 96. Okay, now, equal to 96. Bring the 96 to the side. Kwa vile hii ni plus, ikija hapa ni minus 96, and here what remains is 0. So this is the equation itself. So because a quadratic equation is always in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to, obviously you know it, equal to 0. Solve the equation A above to determine the width and length of the garden. So what we know is that x squared plus 4x minus 96 is equal to 0. So obviously our sum is 4. Our product is 1 times -96 to be -96. But now itakupa mambo mingi sana. I don't know if we can get this direct answer. Okay, but what I know is 96 ikona nyingi, but then just look at it. But at the end of the day itakupa kuna moja 12 na -8. 12 plus -8 is 4, and 12 times -8 is -96. So ukifactorize, obviously tumesema simplest way, x plus 12 times x minus 8 equal to 0. So you equate x plus 12 to be equal to 0. That is why x is equal to -12, or x minus 8 can be equal to 0, and that is why x is equal to 8. But the answer to this, kwa vile hakuna distance ambayo ni negative, we don't have negative distances, we ignore this. So we don't choose this because it's a negative answer, we choose this one. So that's not the answer. The length was represented by, if you remember, it's x plus 4, which is 8 plus 4, which is equal to 12 meters. The width was represented by just x, which is equal to 8. So we have a 12 by 8, 12 meters by 8 meters rectangle. I think that is the question. Now calculate the perimeter of the garden. Now once you know the perimeter, the length and the width, so we know that the length is 12 meters, the width is 8 meters, and we know perimeter is given by 2 length plus 2 width. So we take 2 times 12 plus 2 times 8. 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 8 is 16. 24 plus 16 is 40 meters. So that is the answer. Now let's go to the other question. Question 25. A ball is thrown vertically upwards from the ground. Its height, h meters above the ground, after t seconds is given by h equal to 20t minus 5t squared. So find the height of the ball after 2 seconds. So your t is therefore 2. So pale ambapo kuna t uta replace. So h is equal to 20 times t, which is 2, minus 5 times t squared, which is times 2 squared. So 20 times 2 ni 40. 5 times 2 squared ni 4. And 5 times 4 obviously will give you 20. So 40 minus 20 ni 20 meters. Remember the height was represented by meters. Question B, by forming and solving a quadratic equation, determine the time at which the ball is at a height of 15 meters. So the formula is for 20t minus 5t squared. So 20t minus 5t squared is equal to the height, and the height here is 15. So let's rearrange this. Wacha tupeleke hizi zote the other side. Minus 5t na hiyo 20. So minus 5t itakuwa 5 positive 5t squared. 20t itakuwa minus 20t. Kwa vile 15 haija migrate kokote, itakuwa ni minus 15 equal to 0. Next step, simplify by dividing by 5, dividing by 5, dividing by 5. And at the end of the day, you'll get t squared minus 4t minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, sum and product. Sum yetu ni negative 4. Let me highlight it. Minus 4. Product ni negative 3. Kwa sababu coefficient for t squared is just 1. So hata ukifanya 1 times negative 3 is just negative 3. The two numbers that if you add gives you negative 4, if you multiply gives you negative 3, is negative 3. And is it negative 3 and 1? Is there a number like that really? Unless nimekosea mahali, which I haven't. There isn't. So I think we can't solve this using factorization. So let's use quadratic formula. So quadratic formula where t is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. We also can use completing squares. So a, what is our a? Our a is 1. Our b is negative 4. And our c is negative 3. So negative b is going to be negative b ni positive 4. So negative b ni hapo 4 plus or minus b squared negative 4 squared minus 4 times a 1 times c negative 3 divided by 2a, which is 2 times 1. So minus 4 squared is going to give us 16 minus 4 times 1 times negative 3 is going to be plus 12. So 4 plus or minus square root of 16 plus 12 is 28. So for plus or minus 28 is divided by 2. So t yako itakuwa ni 2. So that is why I need to write it here. And let me use another color. So you'll have 2 t's. Okay. So the first t itakuwa ni 4 plus root 28 divided by 2. T yako ya pili ni 4 minus root 28 divided by 2. You can just insert this directly into your calculator to see how much is going to give us. 4 plus root 28 divided by 2, it has 4.65 there. So let's say 4.65 seconds. T yako ya pili 4 minus root 28. So 4 minus root 28 divided by 2 itakupa negative 0.645. Okay, negative 0.646, lakini hakuna sekunde as a negative. So we ignore this. Okay, and we take this. So at the end of the day, answer yako ni moja tu peke yake. So ignore the T2 and we'll just write this as our answer. Hakuna dakika waenda sekunde waenda nyuma umesikia wapi? So yep, now let's go to the other question. Determine the maximum height reached by the ball. Hii swali lakini ilikuwa vipi mpaka mwanafunzi amepata swali kama hilo, because maximum height ni mambo na differentiation. And these students weren't taught about differentiation, so I don't know ilikuwaje mpaka mwalimu mwalimu naye alikuwa nchizi. Ndio maana wanafunzi wengine walalamika wasema hii si level yetu. 20t minus 5t squared. 20t minus 5t squared. So maximum height reached by the ball. Maximum height reached by the ball, hii ni wafanya kitu yaitwa differentiation. So kuna kitu yaitwa dh over dt. So ukidifferentiate 20t itaandikwa kama 20, t yatoka, 5t squared inaandikwa 2 times 5 which is 10, then times t is equal to 0. Minus 10t itakuwa ni positive 10t is equal to 20, and therefore you divide by 10, t is equal to 2. So once you get that, utaweka hapa h is equal to 20t minus 5t squared. So itakuwa ni 20 times 2 minus 5 times 2 squared. So itakupa 40 minus 5 times 4, which is 20, which is again 20 meters pia bado. So yeah, so that is the answer. Question 26. Two similar containers used for packaging tea leaves have heights 15 centimeter. So let's say this is a container, this is another container. So moja ni 15 centimeter, ingine ni 25 centimeter. The small container has a surface area of 108 centimeter square. The larger one has we don't know. Okay, now this is 4 marks, which is very easy. So first thing ni kutafuta linear scale factor, ndo baadaye tujue area scale factor yetu. So we'll take the largest height, which is 25, divide by the smallest one, which is 15. Ukidivide na 5 itakupa 5/3. So your linear scale factor is this one. So if you do linear scale factor square is when you get area scale factor. So you take 5/3, you square it, and you get 25/9. 5 times 5 ni 25, 3 times 3 ni 9. So this is the area scale factor. And we know that the area scale factor is just the ratio of two areas, in which utachukua the area of the larger container divided by the area of the smaller container. For now, the area of the larger container hujui ni ngapi, which is, let's say it's x. The area of the smaller container is 108. So we cross multiply 25 times this and x times this. So 25 times 108 is equal to 9 times x, which is 9x. So 25 times 108 would give you 2,700. So I get 2,700 is equal to 9x. So come here, 9x is equal to 2,700, divide by 9, and therefore x is equal to, hapa, this is the answer here. So divide by 9 is going to give you 300. So we assume that hiyo 300 centimeter square is the area of the larger container. Or njia nyingine ni hivi, wewe wajua area ile kubwa ni 25/9 times. So what you do, waweza chukua 108, you divide it by 25/9, kwa vile ni ndogo, so itakuwa divide by 25/9, which will also give you the same thing. So itakupa 300 divide by 25/9. Is it? No, not divide, kwa vile ile ni ile kubwa hujui. ile ndogo ni 108, so you multiply by 25/9 to get the larger one, kwa sababu ile kubwa ni 25/9 times, so 108 times 25/9 is going to give you 300 centimeter square. Siona rahisi sana. Now the larger container in A above has a volume of 875 cubic centimeter. Calculate the volume of the smaller container. Again, area scale factor, linear scale factor ndo muhimu kwa sababu itatusaidia kupata volume scale factor pia. So 5/3, let's say that linear scale factor, okay, if you cube it then you get volume scale factor. So linear scale factor, which is 5/3, you cube this, get volume scale factor, which is not 25 but 125/9. So 125/9 is our volume scale factor. So again, volume scale factor is equal to volume of the larger over the volume of the smaller container. So 125/9 is equal to volume of the larger, which is 875, divided by the volume of the smaller container. Next, ni cross multiply. So 125 times x, 125x is equal to 875 times 9. So 875 times 9, which will give you around 7,875. 7,875. Then divide by 125. Divide by 125 na x yako tu itakuwa ngapi? It's going to give you 63 centimeter cube. Okay. Another way, kwa vile volume scale factor tuko now, which is 125/9, so it means that na tuko na larger container, so you usually take the larger container, divide by the volume scale factor ndo tupate ile smaller container, which again will give you 63 centimeter cubed. You can confirm that using your calculator. Divide by 125/9 is going to give you 63 as well. So that is another way if you want it. State 3 conditions necessary for two solids to be similar. Yeah. So state 3 conditions necessary for two solids to be similar. First, they should be same shape. Okay, same shape, yani corresponding angles should be equal. So kwa mfano hii na hii corresponding ya hapa na hapa zafaa ziwe similar. Corresponding linear dimensions are proportional. So kwa mfano hii na hii, so kama hapa ni 8, hapa ni 4, so ikiwa ni 8 divided by 4 ratio zake, so hapa pia ni 2:1, so ratio ya hapa pia zafaa ziwe similar. Kama ni 10, hapa pia ni 5, so 10 divided by 5, they should be similar. So and the faces are similar figures. So kama ni triangle, huwezi pata triangle and then we'll compare to rectangle, those are not similar. So triangle to triangle, rectangle to rectangle, and square to square. So corresponding angles should be equal, the linear dimensions should be proportional, and the faces should be similar figures. Triangle to triangle, rectangle to rectangle. Okay, question 27. A triangle ABC has vertices A1, 2, B3, 2, and C3, 5. And the enlargement is image is A prime, which is 1, 2. Then we have B prime, which is 7, 2, and C prime 7, 11. Now, if you look at especially A and 1, 2, and A prime 1, 2, I'll just know the center. My center of enlargement is there. So at center of enlargement, the image and the object is just at the center of enlargement. So I don't know what was the reason for having those 3 marks. And the question B ndo yafaa hiyo ya kwanza. Okay, then then followed by VA. I don't know why did they do this thingy. But all in all, let's solve for B, because this one was supposed to give you the answer to A. There's also another method for you to get A. Now, if you look at A, B, C, let's look at A with 1, 2. you have B 3, 2, and then you have C, which is 3, 5, which will give you the images that is A prime 1, 2. So I'll know exactly that my 1, 2 is my center of enlargement without anything. So B prime is 7, 2, and then we have a C prime. So the answer to A, I know the center of enlargement is just 1, 2, because if you look at the image and the object of A and A prime is just the same. But I'll show you how to get it also. It's more about calculations. So C prime is 7, 11. Now, what we know is that if you want to get, let's say, B prime, okay, B prime to, not B prime, but AB, that is A prime B prime divided by AB will give you your linear scale factor. So let's just focus on the x coordinates, which is B and A here. So let's say the change in that is supposed to be 3 minus 1. Okay, and then also this one, let's focus on this 7 minus 1, which will be divided by 7 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2 over 6, which will give you a third. Okay, I don't know what did I do. Oh, sorry. I forgot something. A prime B prime, that is 7 minus 1 over 3 minus 1. AB, that is, so 7 minus 1 is 6 divided by 2, which gives you a linear scale factor of 3. You can use BC as well. So let's say B prime C prime divided by BC. So just take the x coordinates. So just say, let's say this one and this one. Is it the same? It's going to give you 0. So let's avoid that. And instead let's focus on the y. Let's say 5 minus 2. No, that's B prime, that's BC, sorry. 11 minus 2. So let's see how much it's going to give us. 11 minus 2 all over 5 minus 2. So 11 minus 2 is 9 divided by 3, which will also give you 3. So our linear scale factor is therefore equivalent to 3. So yep. Now let's go to choice A. How are we going to solve it? Now what we know is that if we take y minus k is equal to 3, okay, 3 times is equal to 3 times y minus k as well, but this is y prime, that is the image, is equal to 3 times. Now the scale factor is 3, so yeah. So let's take an image and its object and its image. Let's take for example 1, 2. Its image is a prime 1, 2 as well. Nah, shouldn't be taking that. Let's take another one. Let's take B 3, 2 and B prime, which is 7, 2. Somehow it becomes easy. Now for the, let's start with the y. So y prime is the image, which is 2 minus k is equal to 3 times the object. This is y, this is y prime. So 3 times 2 minus k. So 2 minus k is equal to 3 times 2, which is 6 minus 3k. So let's bring this here, this here. So this becomes 2 minus 6 is equal to k minus 3k, positive k minus 3k. So again, 2 minus 6 gives you negative 4 equal to k minus 3k, which is negative 2k, divided by negative 2, divided by negative 2. K will be equal to positive 2. So for the y coordinate, we know that this is the y coordinate of the center of enlargement, which will give you 2. Now what if, now we need to search for the x coordinates, right? So for the x coordinates, you much likely do the same thing. So you do the same thing, that is, instead of y, now let's focus on x. So x prime minus k is equal to the scale factor, which is 3 times x minus k. Okay, x prime yetu ni hii 7, so 7 minus k is equal to 3 times the x minus k. So 7 minus k is equal to 3x minus 3k. So bring this together, or let me bring maybe this to the other side. Oh, sorry, x minus k is 3 here, so 3 times 3 is supposed to be 9. So let's bring this to this side, the other one to the other side. So minus 3k goes to the other side, and it gives you positive 3k minus k is equal to 9 minus 7. And 3k minus k gives you 2k equal to 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, k is equal to 1. So k is equal to 1, x coordinates. And therefore, our center of enlargement will be 1, 2. That is the x and the y. So this is the center of enlargement. As simple as that. Now, given that the area of triangle ABC is 4.5 centimeters square, calculate the area of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Now we know that our linear scale factor is equal to 3, and therefore area scale factor is equal to linear scale factor square, which is 3 square, which will give you 9. And we know that area scale factor is equal to area of the image over area of the object. So area of the image is we don't know, which is A prime, B prime, C prime. Let's say I divide by area of the object, which is 4.5, is equal to 9. So times 4.5 times 4.5, so that we get the area of the image. So area of the image, it will be 40.5 centimeter square. So yeah, let's go to the other question. Now question 28, a rectangular photograph measuring 8 cm by 5 cm is to be enlarged to fit a frame such that the longer side becomes 24 cm. So calculate the linear scale factor of the enlargement. So if you have something like this, which is 8 cm by 5 cm, and then you enlarge it to give you 24 cm, and you don't know this, so find the linear scale factor. So the longer side here is the length, which is 8, and the longer side for that larger one is also 24. So the linear scale factor automatically will be 24, because these are corresponding sides. So 24 divided by 8. So the linear scale factor is 3. Determine the length of the shorter side of the enlarged photograph. So the corresponding side to the shorter side is 5 cm, and therefore for you to get the answer to that, you normally just let's say 3 is equal to the length of the larger one over the length of the smaller rectangle, in which the length of the larger one is basically something that you don't know, which is x. The length of the smaller one is basically 5, which is corresponding to it. So you multiply by 5, you multiply by 5, and therefore x will be equal to 5 times 3, which is 15 centimeter. So that is our answer. For question C, much likely the same thing. The photograph is also printed on a fabric banner that is similar in shape with a linear scale factor of 5. Which photograph are they saying? Rectangle is to enlarge to fit a frame. The photograph is also printed on a banner that is similar in shape with a linear scale factor of 5 relative to the original photograph. Given that the area of the original photograph is 40 centimeters square, calculate the area of the fabric print. So if we want to get the area scale factor, linear scale factor square gives you our area scale factor, and therefore if you square 5, because that is the linear scale factor, is going to give you 5 times 5, which is 25. Now remember, if you want to get the area of the fabric print, which is standing by AF, normally you take the smaller one, 40, times the area scale factor, kwa sababu ile ndo ndogo. Kupata ile kubwa itabidi sasa uchukue 40 times 25, which will give you 40 times 25 to give you 1000 centimeters square. So that is the fabric one. But also you can use this. Obviously, once you know your area scale factor to be 25, and you just say that is equal to area of the fabric over area of the photograph, which is 40, and you do the same thing times 40 times 40, which will give you 1000 centimeters square. So many formulas. Now, state 1, real life application of enlargement other than photography. So I'm repeating, state 1, real life application of enlargement other than photography. You can use it for map reading or cartography. It's up to you. So map reading, kwa mfano unataka kujua sehemu, so you can have a map that's obviously on that map. It can be like 5 centimeter, but the actual one is normally obviously 5 kilometers nini. Yeah, so you can use enlargement for such cases. So you use it in map reading. So for every 2 centimeter maybe ni 5 kilometers and etc. Now the last question, triangle PQR has vertices P1, 1. We have Q4, 1, even though it's not Ionish clearly, just bear with me, and R4, 3 on the grid provided closed triangle PQR. So let's start drawing this. So ya kwanza ni P1, 1, which is around here. Yeah, then that is pre Q4, 1 and R4, 3, which is here. So that is R. But it's saying it's not a obviously it's not a right angle triangle. So PQR, P connect to Q. This is somehow big. PQR, take P connect to Q, take Q connect to R, and obviously P to R finally. So that is the first triangle. Now let's go to the next question. On the same grid, draw the mirror line y equal to 5. So mirror line is normally a horizontal line that goes at y. So this is your mirror line. So y equal to 5, that is the mirror line. So here in y, let me use another one. Y is equal to 5. So and the question B, 1 mark. Question C, construct the image P prime Q prime of R prime of triangle PQR under reflection in the line y is equal to 5. That's the mirror line that we have there. And the last one, state the coordinates of P prime, Q prime, and R prime. So which is also easy. Now if your R is here, your R prime will be behind the mirror line. So angalia to 1, 2, itakuwa 1, 2. So R prime is here. So R prime is here. Q ni hapa, so angalia 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So R prime, Q prime is here. So then you have P ni 1 2 3 4 boxes away, so it should be 4 boxes behind it. 1 2 3 4. So your P prime is here. So P prime is supposed to be here. So P prime ni hapa. So let me just remove these things, the unnecessary ones. Okay. So now it's much easier. You just use this one's P prime to Q prime to R prime. So again, let me use this Q prime to R prime, and then P prime to R prime. So again, the answers, let's see the answers. What will be the answers? So P prime, Q prime, R prime. So P prime will be 5,9. Okay. Q prime itakuwa ni 5,9. No. P prime is not 5,9. Sorry for that. P prime is 1,9 kwa sababu x axis yake iko hapa chini, so kama uone, so this is the x axis. Okay, utaona x is equal to 1. Q prime is supposed to be 4,8. This is Q prime here, which is 4,8, and R prime obviously is going to be 4,7, and that is our answers. I think, yeah, those are our answers. So yeah, again, and that's the final question. So again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And by the way, if you have any queries, please tell me. But stay tuned to the video that I'll make on rotation, reflection, and many others, enlargement, and etc. So don't be afraid to say to your queries. I've seen one of the queries, not that I'm not answering them, I'm looking at them. Okay, so I don't want to give you a specific answer in which sitoweza fanya. So and then baadaye itakuwa majukumu mbele ya Mungu. But all in all, thank you very much for watching to this end, and in case you have any questions, comment there, subscribe as always. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.